How you doing, guys? Back at Daisy Hill up in Queensland again after a very quick trip to Timaru in New Zealand and an even quicker trip to Melbourne. Man, where do I start? I guess I'll start at the end of the last video. So most of you are aware I was working my way through forgiving my mum and stuff like this. You know, knowing that you know, she was going to pass away, then she did pass away. And leading up to going to her funeral, I had to reconcile my feelings so that I could go to it with the right headspace and to be there for, you know, what remains of my family in a respectful and loving way, and to be able to let the resentment of the past go. And it was really interesting because I got to that place a few days before the funeral, and my run out here where I did the video, it was a different feeling. Most of my life it's been, I guess, anger filled and insecurity fueled rather. And anger is a great fuel, but you know, if you're living on it, it's not very healthy for you. Hard to, you know, have relationships and things like that. And carrying that resentment's a heavy weight. So the feeling now is that I feel enormous sense of gratitude, and looking back at all that you know, even my dad, I had a horrific relationship with him, but even still, when I went to the cemetery, I cleaned his headstone and stuff like that, and I thanked him for giving me the resilience and tenacity and drive and stubbornness and even all the hidings that I got and stuff like that. Like, there's a resilience that was born from them. I mean, I wouldn't want anybody to go through it, but the reality is that coming out the other side is I feel that I can almost do anything. If I can survive that childhood, then you can deal with anything. And, you know, most successful people come from, you know, terrible backgrounds, you know, because they have that resilience and tenacity there. And anything you're going through now is like pales in significance. And so that kind of left me, and it was replaced with this enormous gratitude and realizing that even if 50% of my interaction with my parents was terrible, you can choose you get to choose what you focus on, and focusing on being grateful and imagining being my mum sitting outside in the freezing cold in her little Mini, sitting outside the door all the way through winter and in the heat in the summer, just sitting outside in the car. I don't think she even went for a walk or anything like that, you know, and she would just sit out there and wait for me to finish my training, and appreciating like the tenacity and resilience that she would show. You know, she wouldn't want to be at home with my dad either, so like it was probably a break for her, but you know, just appreciating all the school lunches that she made, and even though I came home after midnight and everybody was in bed and my food was in the fridge and it was cold every night, she would still make amazing food, and my lunches were immaculately made and always healthy. And so letting go of this resentment is now giving me the space to be able to appreciate her and love her in a way that I never have. I've never ever had a picture of her in my house ever. And last night when I got home, I have a whole lot of memorabilia from my childhood. And so there's a picture of my mother with my brother and sister and me when we were young. So I put this up in a prominent place in the house. And that's a first. You know, I've got a collection of memorabilia that I got from the house that I've scattered around our house now. And so there's a constant reminder there and a constant gratitude. And I feel lighter. I feel like there's a huge burden that's left me. I feel that there's a sense of confidence and pride that I have in myself for being able to make this adjustment and being able to do the work to get to this place, a place that I honestly never thought I would get to. I never really thought that I would feel this way about my parents, and you know, it's a great feeling, and it's sad that it takes such a long time to find it, but you know, everything happens for a reason, and now that she's gone, then I feel a big responsibility to take all that she did for me and to do my very best with it. As I would, hence we have better every day as our slogan, and like I feel like every day is an opportunity to be a better version of yourself. And I know that it sounds kind of tacky, but that's how I've lived my entire life. And yeah, I'm in a really happy place. I'm very proud of myself. I feel a big sense of confidence and self-esteem that I didn't have before. There's a calmness there. My brother and I are closer than we ever have been, so that's incredible. And it's brought all of us closer, me, him, his wife, my wife, like, you know, and their extended family. Like, we're very, very close. I didn't even know I was going to have to carry the coffin. Like, that was a big shock. And then, you know, nearly did a disc in my back, bloody lowering the thing. So like, all of that was like super unexpected, but again, a challenge that I was happy to make. And I was proud to carry her coffin, and to, you know, I went for a massive 2-hour run the next morning, and halfway through it visited her grave and just let it all out, and, you know, bawled my guts out, and just thanked her, and then I went to my dad's grave and I did the same thing, and that's a first. I've never ever been to his grave, and I cleaned it and gave thanks to him, and contacted some of my old friends there that I don't see often enough, and just told them that I love them and gave them a hug. And I think that out of everything that was accumulated in the house, it's all these funny little knickknacks that you have. I've got a set of her woolen mittens that I'll wear when I go running on cold mornings, and yeah, it's a great place to have got to. It's really sad that it took this to get there, but yeah, a new chapter begins, and yeah, it's an incredible feeling. And again, I'm grateful to have been able to even get to this point. Anyway, I better go finish my run. See you guys. Bye.